What's up, guys? I'm Mike, and I like to try to help people. So I got a question somebody sent me. They just said, do I have to dress up to go to church? And my answer to that is an emphatic no. You do not have to dress up to go to church. In fact, if you are waiting until you have the right clothes or the right look or the right image before you walk through the doors of a church, you're waiting for something that God never required. The invitation of Jesus in Scripture is very clear. He says, come, whether you're tired, you're broken, you're confused, you're doubting, struggling, joyful, or whatever. He says, come exactly the way that you are, right? So you see, somewhere along the way, in many cultures, a lot of cultures and stuff, that dressing up for church became a sign of respect, right? But that's a cultural thing. That is not a biblical thing. And there's nothing wrong with if you want to wear a nice suit or dress up or look your best, that's wonderful. But we have to be real careful not to turn a cultural preference into a biblical requirement. Because Scripture never says put on your best clothes before you come to Jesus. It never says anything close to that. It says things like, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Whoever comes to me, I will never cast out, right? The focus is always on the condition of the heart, not the brand of shirt you're wearing. Think about the people that Jesus welcomed, right? He welcomed in the fishermen who smelled like the sea. He welcomed in the tax collector that was kind of a traitor that nobody liked. He welcomed in, zealots that with all their strong opinions, outcasts, right? People from that people wanted nothing to do with, or if they saw them, they'd walk the opposite direction. He welcomed people with messy past and complicated stories. And Jesus didn't stop them at the door and say, hey, okay, look, I need you to get cleaned up and come back when you look more respectable. Instead, he welcomed them exactly as they are. And to be honest, if we're sharing personal examples, I'm a youth pastor. I'm in a pastoral position, and when I go to church, most of the time, you're gonna find me in shorts and in t-shirts, and sometimes I'm wearing a soccer. Or actually, most of the time, I'm wearing a soccer jersey. I've got tattoos, right, and I don't spend my time trying to hide my tattoos. I'm proud of them, and there's nothing wrong with that, because my confidence before God isn't based on how polished I look. It's based on the grace of Jesus Christ. The church isn't a fashion show. It's not a country club. It's not a gathering for people who have it all together. It's a family of people who know that they need Jesus Christ. So if you're wondering what you should wear to church or